I'm now going to review two Glossier products. Number one, which I have been using for about a year and a half, Glossier Boy Brow, which I pretty much absolutely love. Like, of all the different brow options out there, this one has worked super, super effectively for me. And then two, which I'll get to in just a second, their Cloud Paint Blush. Let's look at Boy Brow. When you buy Boy Brow, first of all, super, super affordable. It's like drugstore affordable. I think it's $12, at least it was when I bought it. What it actually is like a combo brow filler and straightener and also like holder. It just kind of, everything you want your brows to do, it does. If you're going for that natural makeup look, which I say by and large I do tend to wear, it's very effective for that. So when you open it, I like to think of it as basically mascara for your brows. It holds them in place, it darkens them, it fills in any like dead spots that you might have. It works. I like it. When you open it, this tiny little thing here, there is a little wand, which I will show. The texture is actually pretty thick. It's much thicker than mascara. Like when you come out, you see giant globs of it on the wand, which hopefully you don't see on your mascara. That would be probably time to throw it away. I get Boy Brow in brown. They also have black. I think they have a blonde color, and then they have clear. So if you already have really full brows and you just want to like hold them in shape, clear would be a really good option for you. You can do it on top of pencil. So sometimes I'll like fill my brows in a little bit with powder and then do Boy Brow over it. It layers okay. I would say try and get it all on in one layer if you can. If you have to go back and do two, at least if you have as little eyebrow hair as I do, which is not a lot, it starts to look pretty obviously fake. So the good news is it looks relatively undetectable if you can get it all in one. Otherwise, just be really careful and aware that it's going to be noticeable. So when I do it, the first piece of advice I have is make sure that your brows are already like shaped as much as possible, because this will highlight and accentuate everything that it touches. So if you have a lot of stray hairs going on, it's going to really make them pop. So let's see here. I tend to start here towards my nose, and then I go out. I don't know if you can see it getting a little bit darker already. I especially have very little hair towards the end, so I'll spend a little more time here. There you go. That was so easy. Oh my gosh, I love this product. It's amazing. But no, genuinely, it really is that simple, and I love it. So if you can tell, no Boy Brow, nothing going on, Boy Brow going on. If I was doing like a really intense look, like if I had a smoky eye and I was going out for like New Year's Eve, I would do more. So I'll show you what it looks like if you start to put another coat on. I think the more you use it over time, similar to mascara, it can get clumpy. So you can even see right there, it's very obvious that I'm putting a product onto my eyebrows. It doesn't look as incognito as it did before. The nice thing though is it will really, really hold your brows in place. It is almost like a putty. Like, it's like a very thin putty. So as you put it on and it dries, it like solidifies into whatever shape you left it in, and it'll just stay like that. If you get a little off the rails, it's actually not too hard to clean up. Yeah, Glossier Boy Brow. So I'll leave it like this for the contrast for a second, but I will balance it out before I go anywhere. The other product I wanted to review for you today is Glossier's Cloud Paint Cream Blush. So Glossier's Cloud Paint Seamless Cheek Color. When I first learned about this, I had a lot of ideas about it that did not end up actually being true. So I want to kind of debunk those for you right now before I move on. Actually, before I move on, I have to do my other eyebrow because it's weirding me out. Hold on, give me a second. Also, just a side note, whenever I do it, I don't know if you can tell, but there's always like a little like whip at the end. I do wipe that off because it will get on your face and be super noticeable. I'm back. Cloud paint time. When I first learned about Glossier's cloud paint, which was on their website after I had bought Boy Brow, because they often do package deals, and I think there was a deal for these to go together. Every time you go on their website, they're selling everything you want in a package deal to try and get you to buy more. It's amazing. So I was like, OMG, it comes in a little paint tube. That's so cute. I love paint tubes. Second of all, it said that it was buildable color, so that led me to think, oh, okay, it's going to be pretty sheer, and then as you put more, it'll be more and more obvious. They made it seem like, oh, it goes on really, really light, and then as you do maybe 2 or 3 layers, it'll be like, boom, blush. The other thing that I assumed is that it would be more of like a cream blush, just because that's my experience of what blush is. If it's not a powder, then it's like kind of more almost like lipstick, lip gloss consistency, so you can kind of, it's more malleable and workable. None of those things turned out to be true. So, surprise, surprise, it's nothing like what I expected. Still great, just not what I expected. So let's see, the 2 colors that I got, this one is Haze. I don't know if you can see, gorgeous. So when you get it, like I said, all the Glossier stuff comes in these cute little bubble wrap pink bags. This is what it looks like. So super, super adorable. It's got that nice little reflective surface. Ingredients are on the back. Cloud paint, I believe, and the Glossier name are on the side. So it's Instagrammable. It looks cute right out of the container. You want to take a picture of it by your window with a succulent and your cat. It is what it is. It's what you buy when you buy Glossier. So as we look into it more, the 2 colors that I got are Storm and Haze. I'll do another video later about how do you know what color makeup looks good on you. I picked these 2 just off the pictures online. And one thing that's really nice about Glossier is on their website, they have women of like many, many different skin tones trying on all their products. So if I chose Storm, for example, and I was like, oh, I think I like Storm, I could look for their very fair and yet slightly olive undertone model and see how it looks on her. And I'd be like, oh, this will look good on me. We'll just slide it neatly out of its little casket. This is Storm that I'm working with again. Take off the little protective seal. And the first thing I have to say, be careful. It is not a cream. It's not a cream blush at all. It's not even like lip gloss consistency. It's basically complete liquid. So as you do it, it's way more drippy and goopy than expected. So there's Storm. I'll show you really quickly. So I don't want to waste that little bit. I'll save that for later. I'll show you Haze as well. So Haze, Storm is like a really nice kind of burnt red color. It has like almost burnt orange undertones. It definitely still has a lot of pink in it. It's very pink, but towards the more muted, burnt end of the spectrum. Haze is just like pure fuchsia. Nothing else going on there. It's bright. So when I first opened this guy, I was expecting that cream kind of consistency. Oh my gosh, look at that. It just gloops out. So it's basically completely liquid. It's even less thick than like acrylic paint. Like if you went to Michael's and got acrylic paint, this is going to be even thinner than that. So that bugged me a little bit because I feel like I'm wasting it. Like before I put it away, I have to swipe off all that extra little bit, and it also comes with not as much. The tube is not nearly as full as you would assume compared to other stuff that comes in tubes. So it's not like toothpaste, it's more like Lay's chips level fullness on the bottle. Okay, so all that to say, if you can see, come a little closer, we have the Storm and Haze. So Haze is basically pure fuchsia. Storm's got that little more burnt consistency. I'll do Haze first just because I've done it before. They don't say anything on their website about using this as a lip tint as well, but I'm sure you could if you wanted to. Okay, you can already see right away that is a lot of pigmentation. It's not nearly as translucent as I thought that it would be. It's like, boom, pretty much opaque and very pigmented, which is nice because you will get a lot of bang for your buck. But the problem is you have to be very, very careful with how much comes out. This is going to be even probably too much, right? Too much blush for my face because it's very, very strong. So when they say buildable color on their website, I'm smiling but I'm upset. When they say buildable color on their website, I'm not really sure what they were going for there, because it's not. This is barely a tiny, tiny dot and it's already like super, super bright. So I don't know how I feel about that. When I do blush, I tend to put a little bit even up into my under eye to make it a little bit more subtle, especially if I put on concealer. Or else I think the contrast between like the yellow undertones of concealer and the pink undertones of blush is just way too strong. So that's a little pro tip. And the only other makeup I'm wearing right now, I have some tinted moisturizer, Bobbi Brown tinted moisturizer on, a little bit of mascara, and obviously the boy brow that I put on earlier. But other than that, I'm fresh. Okay, so that is the haze. Let's do a little storm now. But again, this amount of haze that I have left over after dropping out like the least possible amount is still going to be way too much to finish this side of my face. So I would say beware, be really careful when you're putting it out. It comes out faster than you'd think because it's so runny, and also it's super pigmented, so you don't need that much. So I don't know. There's just like a whole thing there. Okay, I'll do it with my middle finger. Again, I'm not putting on a lot. I'm taking just a tiny dot because of how pigmented the other one was, but I haven't done this one before, so we'll see. When I do blush, you probably already know this, but what I do is I smile, and I find the apples in my cheeks, and then I dot it a little bit in that area, and then spread it up along the rest of your cheekbone. If you feel here, here's cheek, here's nothing. It's literally the inside of my mouth. So spread it along that ridge, the last part of your cheek before it gets to your mouth. Okay. Very, very pigmented again. This one's pretty brown, actually. Look at my little hand mirror as well. Let's see what I got here. So a lot of brown in this one, but at the end of the day, after you rub it out, it still basically looks pink. Just a lot of pigment. This would be crazy. I would look like a weirdo if I went outside like this. This is just way too much, and I took like the tiniest dot that I could. Again, I'm going to go up into my under eye just a little bit, just to make the line a little bit less aggressive. Okay, we're blending into the cheek area. Sometimes another thing I'll do when I'm blending blush is take an untainted finger. If I apply it with my middle finger, I'll take my like naked ring finger and use that to do a little bit of blending, just so it doesn't keep spreading more color, but it only moves around the color that's already there. Okay. Well, my cheeks are definitely pink. I have to say, I actually really like the color of Storm, the darker one. I think it's like a really, really natural glow, at least for my skin tone, more olivey vibes. Texture-wise, as it's going on, it feels nice. It almost feels like nothing. Like it doesn't have a sticky consistency. It doesn't feel thick, like my pores are being blocked. It just literally feels like in, you know, a video game. Like if you had like a Barbie makeup video game and then you like put on blush and like magically her skin appeared pinker and like nothing actually happened. It feels like that. So here's Storm. Here's Haze. Really, really nice, vibrant, bright pink. I would love to use this for like going out, doing something fun, something more casual. This would definitely be, I think if I did less, it would be workplace appropriate. Maybe not this intensity, but if I did less, it would be workplace appropriate. As much as Storm is maybe more practical, I feel like Haze is going to be the one that I actually end up using just because it's so bright and fun. But again, like I've said several times, I have this left over. I have this much left over on my hand. I don't know if you can see how much of the blush I have left over, and it was already way too much on this side. If I was going to balance it out here, it would just look insane. So I guess I could just work on my, like, rationing out skills and just put only the most minimalist dot. But also, more comes out than you think, and you'll probably end up wasting some. Just a heads up.